Greetings and salutations, my lovelies. Bardic Kitty here, bringing you another art video. I'm going to talk a bit about my absence, and then I thought I was coming back and then I didn't, but first I want to talk to you about what's on the screen. I'm doing thumbnails for a commission that I had started forever ago, and I'm actually going to be doing this in two parts. This one's going to be just the sketch, and then color will be next week's video. The bit with the phone there, I was just looking up some inspiration. As you saw, it was a bunch of Poison Ivy stuff from DC Comics. I had to think about it there for a second. One of this character's hobbies is that she tends man-eating or carnivorous plants, so that's why I kind of made that connection. So I was just kind of taking a look at some different ways that people have done treatments for Poison Ivy and just getting kind of a basic idea for some thoughts and inspiration. I wasn't copying anybody's work or anybody's ideas. I was just getting some inspiration for what I might be able to do with mine. And of course, I'm a doofus and don't know how cameras work, so as happens occasionally, I didn't manage to record the beginning of me sketching this character out. She is an original character that a friend of mine who has commissioned me for this piece created. She is a vampire, and I apologize if I butcher this name and how to pronounce it. Calyptria Madalily? I'm sorry, guys. I haven't actually talked to him in person to get a pronunciation for that, but I think Calyptria is probably how the first name is pronounced. Anyway, so she is a vampire, and as I said, her hobbies include tending man-eating plants. She also has hair color that changes with her emotions, so that's a fun little thing I got to play with a little bit in the colored version, which you will see next week if you come back for it. I really had a lot of fun with this one. It isn't quite finished, but I'll be finishing up this week so that I can do the full coloring next week. The only thing I haven't done is the last bits of the background, mainly because I was debating whether I needed to fill more of the negative space. You'll also notice as I'm working on this, I keep kind of putting things down and then changing my mind and erasing them. I hadn't actually planned out her outfit at all before I started sketching. I just know that she does kind of a Gothic Lolita inspired style, while being a little more older and elegant was kind of what I was told to go for. So that's the inspiration I had for that. I was looking up all kinds of different outfit designs and concepts and just kind of playing with it and deciding what I thought looked good as I was going. Anyway, so I know a few weeks ago, whatever it was at this point, I had posted a video and I was saying, I was back. I was coming off of hiatus and I was going to start doing weekly videos again and it was going to be great. And then I remembered that it was March and I had 5 conventions this March. So there was one weekend where I actually had 2 conventions, and so I went to one with a friend, and my husband took the rest of my stuff to another convention that same weekend, and then I had another week of a convention, then I had a week off, but I was freaking out and prepping for the next one, and then I had 2 weeks in a row, and that was, the last of those was last weekend, and now I'm good to go. I really should have given more thought to that and just waited to try to come back until after March was over. It is always my busiest month every year, so I don't know what I was thinking. But hopefully, from here out, we're going to be back on our weekly schedule. I probably won't do too many much larger pieces like this one, or at least not very often. I'll likely go back to doing smaller videos, or rather videos where I'm doing smaller pieces like the 5x7s that I did for a lot of the earlier videos. And I do want to also start doing some challenge videos and things like that. So maybe going for the, non-art supply art challenges. So a lot of people will paint with tea or coffee or something like that, or try to make art with makeup or some stuff like that. And it's always really fun to watch. And so I might try to do some of those kinds of things. we'll see. Anyway, so like I said before, this is going to be just the sketch of this, because this is already sped up like 25 times the actual drawing speed, and it was something like 5 to 6 hours of footage for just the sketching part, including the thumbnails in the beginning though. So I mean, there's that. And then there's already at least double that, possibly more, for coloring it, and I still have to finish the coloring. But like I said though, that's just I basically was working on making the decision on whether or not I was going to fill in more stuff in the negative space in the background or just color it in, and I've made the decision on that, and we're gonna go for it. So yeah, so next week you'll get the coloring video. It will be pretty sped up. I'll probably cut off some pieces where I'm doing like larger sections of the same color and stuff like that, trim it down a little bit, make it a little more enjoyable, hopefully. I wish that I had the inking portion for this, but I actually just didn't get it, it just didn't get recorded. Part of that is because I wasn't sure how I could do that, because like I said, I sketched this originally on this really thin, you can kind of see through it even in the video, this really thin sketchbook paper. And then I transferred it using my light box onto Bristol board. And at the time, I hadn't really seen other videos where people had used their light boxes and recorded it. And I just assumed that it wouldn't look good and I couldn't do it. I should have at least tried, guys. I'm sorry. In the future, though, hopefully you'll get more of that inking process in any larger pieces that I do future videos for. And yeah, I really actually ended up loving like the whole outfit design that I did for her. Like the kind of like quilted layered look on the skirts was supposed to resemble like flower blossoms, and then I did like a lot of little like roses at the connection points and just fun stuff. One last thing, I'm doing the little chompy plants right now. Like I mentioned, that was just something that I had in my head and I just wanted to do, was just these like kind of wooden, kind of just teethy, awful plants. And she's sitting on a much larger one. But actually the rest of what's going to go into the background is going to be plants that actually exist. And so there will be the Venus flytraps, only much larger than they actually grow. And those are pretty recognizable. Most people have at least heard of Venus flytraps. The other ones are called sundew, I believe, plants. And they have the little balls on the ends, and they look like they're covered in dewdrops. And so bugs will land on them to try to eat or drink the dew, and they'll like curl up onto them. And yeah, they're really neat looking, and I look forward to you seeing the colored version. But for now, I really am this time going to stop rambling. I'm back again, and hopefully it will actually stick this time. I don't have another convention for a few weeks, and then after that, I've got actually over a month before I have my next one after that. So I'll have plenty of time to get some videos recorded and do awesome stuff, and let me know if there's anything you guys want to see me do in the future. Alrighty, well, I love you all, and I hope you have a beautiful week. I will see you next week in my next video. And of course, because I wasn't planning originally to do this in 2 parts, it will end kind of abruptly, so I am sorry for that. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all, and I hope you have a beautiful week.